Hello and welcome to the first of a brand new series. My name is Alex does F1 Stuff and this is going to be a random Formula 1 things video. So this whole series idea came about after I had just finished making the part 2 for the Formula 1.5 season of 2014. I'll pop a card to that first video in the corner. So it only just dawned on me that in 2014 there was a double points finale. So if you cast your minds back all the way to 2014 and you put yourself in the big boss's shoes of Bernie Ecclestone, you have yourself a nice bright idea. Don't worry, it's not that one at all. So you decide to take your normal point scoring system and you decide to double it for the final race to add a little bit of tension and a bit of spice to the season. Which, to be honest, it was kind of going to. So this was the points that we had going into the final race after Brazil. Hamilton 17 points clear of Rosberg on 334 points. They were the only two title contenders at the time. So there were a few permutations. All Hamilton had to do was finish in front of Rosberg and he would be the champion. However, Rosberg either had to win with Hamilton, I think he needed to be 6th or something like that, or 3rd maybe, all the way down to Rosberg had to finish at least 5th. However, it didn't quite pan out exactly like that and we ended up with a 67 point difference at the end of the championship. Not quite as close as it should have been. So this kind of begs the question, would it work well? And I have tried to answer that question as best as I could, which is why I'm turning this into a nice little series. So I have taken all of the seasons from 1950 all the way up to 1954, the first 5 seasons of Formula 1. And all I've done is I've made the final round a double points scoring round. And then each video after this, I will do the next 5 seasons all the way up to the present day. So we begin with 1950, the year of our sport's birth. So we start the round off with Great Britain in Silverstone, and Nino Farina actually got away with the victory. Now, I don't quite understand the points scoring system back in this day, but hey ho. Also, I've coloured in the people that have bright colours, all finished within the top 5. I have coloured in the top 5 finishers for the championship. All the rest are just alternating colours so you can kind of see them clearly, and they don't really play a bigger part in the season. It's just, I would have highlighted it by team. However, there's about 60 bajillion million Alfa Romeos, 4 Ferraris, 3 million Maseratis, and a couple other cars as well. And it would have just been a bit too confusing to track the championship leading drivers, as basically throughout this year Alfa Romeo were the top 3 cars. So anyway, we will move from Monaco, or from, I've just spoiled it. We will move from Great Britain to Monaco, where Juan Manuel Fangio secures his first victory around the Principality, and he is now matched with Farina. So moving to the Indy 500 after Monaco, this is an odd one because none of the F1 people race in the 500, yet the 500 is still included in the championship, which is where all these Curtis Craft cars come in, and Parsons ended up with the victory. So there are now 3 people on 9 points. Moving to the 4th round of the season, we go to Switzerland, where Farina picks up his 2nd victory and moves to 18 points and is now 6 points clear of Fagioli and 9 points clear of Fangio, who fails to score. As we move further down into the season, we move to Switzerland, which Farina ended up getting another victory in as well, moving to 22 points, 4 points clear of Fagioli, and 5 points clear of Fangio, who are all still well within the championship fight. Quickly looking over France, now Fangio secures the victory ahead of Farina, who actually fails to score any points, and Fagioli picks up a 2nd place, moving him above Farina as well. So we are in a prime position for the final race of the season, the double point scoring race with Fangio and Fagioli, all with the best possible chance to beat Farina. All they've got to do is finish in front of the Italian. However, they failed to do so, and Farina came away with the victory, moving to 38 points and ending up 6 clear of Fagioli, and 12 points clear of Fangio, who failed to score. So in 1950, it didn't work. How about 1951? Did it work here? So 1951 saw the first official title go to Fangio. How will it pan out with a double points finale at the end? Let's take a look. So Switzerland went to Fangio, who, as you can see, did finish in the top 5, along with Farina, who's finished third, scoring 4 points. Next is the Indy 500, which it annoyed me so much going through these tables that they included it, but it's alright. So Wallard ends up getting this victory and moves in front of Fangio for first place in his little Curtis Craft. However, by round 3, Farina actually takes the lead. Where am I? Belgium, yes. Farina scored a victory, moving up to first place, 1 point clear of Wallard and Fangio. France, though, Fangio gets back in front after scoring a victory, ahead of a couple other people. I need to write down who got second place, but as you can see, Ascari has leapt up into the leaderboard. So taking a look at the second half of the season, we move to Great Britain, and Gonzalez scores his first victory in Formula 1 and moves to within 9 points of Fangio, 1 race win, with Farina and Villarossi all on 12, 8 points behind the Argentine. So Germany goes to Ascari, who falls 10 points behind Fangio now, who does have a comfortable 1 race margin to him over the rest of the field. So what can Ascari do? Can he challenge Fangio in the next round at Italy? Yes, he can. He scores a victory, the first victory for Ferrari around Monza, and it is an Italian driver as well. He moves to within 2 points of Fangio. So all he has to do in the final round at Spain is finish in front of Juan Manuel Fangio, and Ascari will claim his first title. But he does not. Fangio ends up getting the victory in Spain and walks away with his first title. So it didn't work in 1951 either. Will it work in 1952? Let's have a little look. So the first round in Switzerland was won by a man called Taruffi in the Ferrari, his first victory in Formula 1. The Indy 500 was won by a man called Ruttmann in a Kuzma. They're all Oppenhauer's cars. I guess they're all kind of equal cars around the Indy 500. As we move to Belgium, this was won by Ascari, who now joins Taruffi at the top of the leaderboard on 9 points. France was also won by Ascari, as he moves 5 points clear of Taruffi. And we move to the second half of the season, where Britain was won by Ascari and moves 8 points clear. Germany was won by Ascari, and he moves 14 points clear. You can kind of see a pattern here, and in the Netherlands, it was also won by Ascari, and he's already won the championship, even with the double points finale. So with the double points finale in Italy, Ascari also wins this as well. He won, 6 races in a row. A fairly dominant display. He had more than double the amount of points as Farina at the end. I don't think a double points finale would have done any justice to that whatsoever. So no, it didn't work in 1952. Would it work in 1953? Let's have a little look. So Argentina was won by Ascari. That's his 7th win in a row over 2 seasons. Hopefully we don't see another repeat of an Ascari dominant season. So the Indy 500 was won by Vukovic, who scores 9 points. Ascari technically didn't enter this race, so whether you want to class his win streak over or not, I am not sure. The Netherlands in round 3 was also won by Ascari, who already has an 8-point lead over Vukovic, but as Vukovic won't come back into the sport, he has an 11-point lead over Villarossi by round 3. Belgium was also won by Ascari as well, as he moves 13 points clear of Villarossi, and you can see Hawthorne has popped into the mix as well, who's in front of Farina. So the second half of the season, Hawthorn actually bags his first victory at France, and he moves to within 14.5 points of Ascari. As we go to Britain for the 4th time, Ascari claims another victory and is now 21 points clear of the Brit. Everything's looking all quite nice for Ascari to win his second championship. Is there anything that can happen in the next round in Germany? Nino Farina actually comes away with a win and joins Hawthorn on 20 points, 17 behind Ascari. All Ascari needs to do is just finish in the points, and he has won the championship. And in Switzerland, he comes away with a victory, and the championship is all his, regardless of a double points finale, which he doesn't actually win. Fangio ends up winning that, who joins Farina on 38 points, 8 points back from Ascari. So it didn't work in 1953 either. Ascari is still a 2-time world champion. Farina has also won a championship as well as Fangio. So 1954, let's get into it. The Argentine Grand Prix was won by the first Argentine driver of Juan Manuel Fangio. The Indy 500 was won by Vukovic again. Belgium was won by Fangio as he moves 8 points clear of I never know how to say this name. Trintignant. As we move to France, now Fangio has a team switch. He moves from Maserati to Mercedes, who score a 1-2 finish in France. So Fangio is now 16 points clear of Trintignant. Moving over to Great Britain now, Gonzalez gets another victory in Formula 1 and he's now 13.5 points behind Fangio. And the stupidest and the weirdest thing about Britain is they awarded 0.1 of a point. I think the leader Gonzalez got 8.1 points for finishing first. The point systems back here didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But anyway, we will move to the second half of the season and let's see if Gonzalez can close that gap a little bit. However, at Germany, Fangio comes away with a victory and moves further and further away from the field. He also gets a victory in Switzerland as well and is now 21.5 points clear of Gonzalez and very close to scoring his second Formula 1 title. And in Italy, he does exactly that. So Fangio is still a 2-time Formula 1 world champion as he is 26.5 points clear of Gonzalez. But in Spain, in the final round, Hawthorn actually comes away with a victory for Ferrari and he finishes, that should say 28.5 points, not 29. So that was sort of a very, very quick rundown of the seasons. It didn't work. It didn't work having a double points finale at all. Kind of how it didn't work in 2014 either. But are there any places that it will? I'll have to find out in the next video. There's definitely a few seasons that are springing to mind after I started doing this that it definitely will work for, but they're a couple years down the line. But so far, history has played out exactly as it would. Nino Farina is still a 1-time champion, Ascari is a 2-time world champion, and as of 1954, Juan Manuel Fangio is also a 2-time Formula 1 world champion. So thank you guys for watching that hopefully quick video as well. I kind of meant this to be like a little quick series. I'll post the next video whenever. I'll catch you in the next one. See you then.